What's up, everybody, and welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Bosley, that's the one and the only. It is Scott Savage. Scott, what's going on, buddy?
Oh, that's right. We were talking about speedrunning, and now I've gone and speedrun Escape Academy. I'm going to do the whole thing through.
Man, well, that's awesome, dude. I couldn't do it. I'm too busy falling asleep right now, actually.
Well, I can only do it as a time traveler. I'm cheating, really.
Man,
I've done it once already.
Speedrunning is cool. I don't know how you manage to like skip through loopholes. The one that really stuck with me is actually, if you have anybody's ever played it, Kena Bridge of Spirits. Fantastic game. Dude, the developers watched this one individual do a speed run. They actually went backwards through the first level, and they're like, "How?" They just broke our game. It's just like they just break games, and it's just what a shot.
You made me think
to
of
gut.
the Hitman 3. Hitman 3 in Dubai. That map, I think it was what, 7.5 seconds. It was insane.
Yeah, it's just people are crazy in what they can pull off. But we got some crazy stuff to talk about today on ITG Daily, where you can normally join us live over on twitch.tv/the official ITG, as well as youtube.com/inside the game official. But if you can't join us live, hit us up later. InsideTheGame.ca podcast services and TV streaming networks around the globe. Scott, today's show, Xbox Game Showcase details have surfaced, and it includes none other than Starfield. Shocker there. Sledgehammer was working on Modern Warfare 2, and Nintendo is going after Discord. Dude, that's a weird one.
Yeah, this is not Discord integration, which would be great news.
That's a whole other level then, man. But for now, let's get into it as Xbox Games Showcase and Starfield direct details have surfaced. It's a great Taylor Hill over at Insider Gaming. On Twitter, a post has surfaced reportedly detailing the duration and potentially also the split for the Xbox Game Showcase and the Starfield Direct show taking place on June 11th. Scott, how excited are you for June 11th?
I'm very excited. I want to see a little bit more on Starfield just to set the table for me jumping in.
Well, let's set the table, Scott, because it's claimed that the show will run from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. PT time. 2 hours, Scott, on June 11th, 2023, with further claims surfacing that the split will see a 90-minute section being reserved for the main show and 30 minutes being kept aside to showcase Starfield in all of its glory. The show, to remember, is when the Xbox Game Showcase drops. It'll have been a year since that last took place, obviously. And last year's monumental event, the lid was lifted on some of the top-tier titles, but this year, everyone's eyes will be on the Starfield Direct show. During the last year, of course, gameplay and content that have drip-fed from Bethesda Game Showcase, but it's not enough to satisfy hungry fans at all. Dude, that's the biggest thing. We barely saw anything. I think that's kind of, right, the big question of, we got 15 minutes of footage. That was it. It's like, yo, this is like your biggest title at this point in I think, Xbox life cycle. This is their most important game this year. This is their most important game moving forward, Scott. I'm calling
this is absolutely a ginormous one. And it really, there's a huge amount of outcomes that could happen if this goes poorly. I expect some day one trouble, but that's something aside.
Well, just on yesterday's show, we talked about how poorly Halo's going, right? We cannot have a Halo situation here for Bethesda, Xbox, and the Starfield name moving forward. Starfield is hopefully the start of something great. I think that's the biggest thing. Hopefully, everything we're used to from a Bethesda game, like all the jank we always talk about and we kind of poke fun at, right? Hopefully that's aside. That's gone. I don't want to worry about that. A game of this nature, there's going to be some kind of bug that the developers the developers are only so big as a team. They can't find everything. When does all that come out? When the millions of us get in their hands on it and start finding in new ways, and hey, they didn't think of doing this, and you do that. Dude, I'll never forget it. I was in a playtest for Immortals Phoenix Rising, and you get some of these powers, and to get into the next room, you had to shoot an arrow. And the dude's like, just use some of your powers. And he's talking about my bow and arrow. But instead, I actually jumped over top this wall. He's like, nobody's done that. Right? So it's how you find some of these things, right? I'm thinking something differently. He's telling me to do one thing. And then I just kind of go, I'm going to do this. And he goes, huh. I was like, what? That's not what I meant. I was like, oh, right.
Playtesting is a big deal. Bethesda specifically, actually, the whole Elder Scrolls climbing a mountain thing.
Yeah.
I'm sure if they had enough QA testers, somebody would have discovered that back on the original. I'm not sure when that began, actually, if it was Morrowind or Oblivion or what. But you turn your back to the mountain and jump, and you basically just climb up an invisible ladder.
That is nuts, right? Like so many people get hands on, and that's when things go like buggy. And that's when the things start to break, and you're like, oh, never thought of that. Bug fix. Never thought of that. Another bug fix, right?
Suddenly everybody's faces aren't there, and it's just two eyes floating.
Ubisoft is never going to let that one go, man. They will always remember Unity. Yeah, I know. It's one of those, it's like the weirdest thing on PC. But yeah, I don't know. Big hype though. 90 minutes, Scott, for Xbox, which is, I think, a standard showcase, right? At this point.
Yeah.
But then extend it by another half hour alone when we get into Starfield. So we have a half hour Starfield. Granted, I'm pretty sure this is just going to be touching like the most of granular, very small pieces of the game. But is that enough to showcase you what you want to see? How much do you want to see coming out of Starfield? Or are you just kind of going, I want to go blind now at this point. Just let me get the game.
Well, I do want to stay mostly blind to the finer details.
Yeah.
But I do want some sort of motivation. Why am I here? Is this just an Outer Worlds kind of motivation going to be set up very quickly? That's kind of what I'm hoping they leave me with. Maybe that's the end note on the end of this showcase.
Is that the way to do this? Is follow up your showcase and then end it with another 30 minutes to Starfield? Is 2 hours too long?
Ooh, perhaps, but having it right at the end, as long as this is to be believed and they kind of put the time frame out there, because you're going to want all eyes on Starfield. But you don't want to turn away some of the people that couldn't last 2 hours.
Well, that's just it. Obviously, you can catch it later at another time because it'll be all recorded and this, that, and the other. But at the same time, I'm here for 2 hours, dude. I am not leaving. You will catch us live, and we'll be covering the entire thing, right? Like, I cannot wait to see what comes out of this showcase. Scott, hopes, dreams, thoughts. What do you think we get at the showcase?
The showcase in general, that is?
Yep.
I'm hoping something that'll set up what's happening in the early next year. I'm not sure if it's a little too early for that, being in June. But I want to know more of the timeline. I have Redfall to look forward to, and I have Starfield to look forward to.
Yeah.
I would like to see more on Avowed. I'm starting to believe it doesn't exist anymore.
Well, okay, so we kind of know, in a sense, what's coming down the pipeline for Xbox as far as major games go, right? We get Redfall. Yeah, okay. That's granted, we know that one's coming up real soon, actually. And then we get Starfield on September 6th. Then what? Right? Are we getting anything after Starfield? Or is that just the end off their year and then get ready for 2024? Do we see Everwild from Rare, right? Dude, we saw a small snippet of that one. I was like, this game looks sick. Where is it? And it just goes poof, like gone, just vanished. Dude, Fable, Perfect Dark, things we know about, right?
If we see any bit on that, that would still have me very excited. I'd be a little bit, it's one of those, I'll have to see it to believe it. I have to hold it in my hand to know that it's real. But I would still be very satisfied if they just, here's a check-in. It's been a while, guys. Let us show you what we've been working on.
So last year's showcase was, here's what's coming in the next 12 months. Do we get that same presentation this year? Or do they just go, hey, here's what we're up to. This is why you should be excited. Here's what is coming in the pipeline for Xbox, but not in the case of here's the next 12 months.
Yeah, maybe having a 12-month kind of time window isn't the greatest, or there may have been things they want to tweak from the feedback given last year. Yeah. Because of all the delays and such, you don't want to advertise things that aren't gonna come to fruition.
No, exactly, right? Because we were supposed to get Starfield in the first 6 months. That's not happening this year, right? And now, granted, we do get it this year, which I'm kind of shocked, in all honesty. Like, I wasn't expecting it. I thought it really was going to get delayed to 2024. I wasn't going to be surprised whatsoever if it did get pushed. But they're pretty well stuck right now on September 6th date for Starfield. I'm very excited, but I definitely want to see why I want to play this game. Like, what's the motivation? What's going to hook me? What is that hook? It is a single-player game. right? So far, we've seen nothing and heard nothing of a multiplayer aspect to it. I wonder if that's something that they reveal here, or they're like, no, this is straight up just a single player game, and that's all you get.
I would suspect we won't see any multi. I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Just thinking of all the Bethesda games in the past, I really can't pull any.
Fallout 76.
Oh, that's why I can't pull that one. I've omitted it from memory.
Some people like it, some people do not. Yeah, we'll see, dude. But yeah, June 11th, we'll have all the details. I cannot wait. I love showcases. Hopefully this one kind of sticks.
That has me excited.
Dude, Sledgehammer, let's get into what Tom Henderson is up to over at Insider Gaming. Sledgehammer Games was developing Advanced Warfare 2, says ex-creative director. In a new interview with Min-Max, ex-Sledgehammer Games creative director Brent Robbins was revealed that the studio was developing Advanced Warfare 2 before shifting to Call of Duty World War II. Scott, stop it right there, buddy. How do you feel about that?
World War II, Call of Duty World War II was one of my least favorite Call of Duties in general. Actually, and here's an unpopular opinion, but I dislike it even more so than I dislike Modern Warfare 3.
Okay.
Here's some hot takes there. I expect to get some feedback for that. That's okay. But
you got big shoulders. You can handle it. In response to a question about how far the developers got with Advanced Warfare 2, Robin said, yeah, started down that road. We had some early prototypes. I think we might have even done a demo level of it. And then, I can't remember all the reasons for the decisions, but it felt like World War II games had come back. Interesting, Scott. Robbins went on to explain that the shifted direction to World War II, which was in 2017, Robbins also delved into the canceled third-person Call of Duty title based in Vietnam. Dude, a third-person Call of Duty.
That's a little weird. I don't know if I'm really a fan of that. I like that they added it to Warzone, or not Warzone specifically, but...
Yeah, Modern Warfare 2's multiplayer, yeah. Internally named as Fog of War. According to Robbins, it was almost like an Uncharted meets Call of Duty, which had a prototype and a demo, Scott.
Oh.
Yeah, Nathan Drake is already shooting up enough people. I can only imagine how that would go for Call of Duty. It's unclear where Sledgehammer Games' creative direction will take the franchise following this year's release of the next premium title, Scott. Quote, right? Insider Gaming understands that this year's title by Sledgehammer Games was initially planned as a Year 2 DLC for Modern Warfare 2, but things have certainly changed. So here's kind of what's going on, is what we've been known to understand so far. Call of Duty 2023 key dates. Beta weekend, October 6th to October 10th. PS4, PS5. Still getting that exclusive going first, Scott. Beta
interesting.
Beta weekend 2 coming in for everybody, including PC, from October 12th to October 17th. So granted, right, it's one weekend. The following week, now then it opens up to everybody else. Campaign early access, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series XS, and PC, November 2nd. So that's kind of giving you your time frame for the next Call of Duty content or game, whatever this is, right? Full release of everything will be on November 12th or November 10th. So there it is, Scott. Call of Duty, unstoppable. Do you think so? I wonder if things changed. Did the plans change once they hit the 800 million in like 3 days when Modern Warfare 2 released? They're like, nope, we're backing this up. We're not coming with Year 2 DLC. We're coming out with more of a game, and here you go.
Yeah, instead of turning this into a $30 package, we could resell a full game. But with the content behind that, I'm not complaining.
No, but you know who's complaining? Nintendo. Because they want to subpoena Discord to find out who's leaked Zelda Tears of the Kingdom art book. They're after you. Watch out, Scott. It's all you. We know it was you.
It wasn't me.
Dude, Chris
I wouldn't dare. I would not dare mess with Nintendo.
Oh, man.
I'm sure they have a private army almost.
It's
private army of lawyers, certainly.
Dude, it's weird. Chris Sculling over VGC. Nintendo has applied for a subpoena that would force Discord to reveal who leaked the art book for The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Man, I don't know what to say. Dude, I kind of like, not too often am I like speechless, here is Nintendo going to the umpth degree, right, to shut things down. We posted a video about the Mario movie on our YouTube channel, and we got hit with a copyright claim. And Nintendo is one of the stickiest companies ever. And on top of that, we work with Nintendo. That's the other, like, for those who don't realize, we actually work with Nintendo to cover their games. And we still get
not
hit.
for. It is not for, but
like,
with.
I'm just like, oh man, I get you want to protect your stuff, right? I'm down for that. But dude, I did not see this coming. What do you think, Scott?
No, and well, this is another chapter in a long story of Nintendo doing this. I have to say, free Melee. Without making that too much of a point, it's really a callback. That's just a situation that was going, and Nintendo did not bring the fun to the party.
No, they certainly did not, right? The book will be included with the collector's edition of the game, and according to the user, is a little over 200 pages in length, Scott. Those pages appear to be legit, and Nintendo is attempting to find out who this Julian character is on Discord and shut them down. And then, obviously, take things one step further and probably press charges and who knows what else.
Oh, I'm sure it's a very expensive mistake to make. Under any company's content, but specifically Nintendo, they will chase you.
Well, that's just it. Like, we've seen Nintendo go so far in some of their protection of their IP. There isn't another company, I think, that's like this at all. Really. We always talk about how Nintendo goes to their own beat of their own drum. And they definitely do. They have their vision and they have their protections and things that they want to follow to make sure that they can keep things proper. Granted, dude, leaks is our industry, right? Like, it's just a part of what we do, it's a part of what we cover. And sometimes it's like, man, really? Like, why did you leak that? And here they are, right? This is ruining somebody's big surprise. A lot of marketing goes into this, right? So Nintendo's gearing up to reveal all this stuff and get ready and start producing marketing material. How are we going to advertise with this company and set all their budgets in place? And then you only get that one splash that kind of hit that impact of wow feature, and then it's leaked. Ubisoft
only ever one first impression. That's it.
Exactly. Right? So part of me is just like, it takes the wind out of your sails a little bit when you get nailed like this. Dude, The Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah, that was the biggest one.
Right? I'll leave it at that. But it's like one of those things like, what are you doing? GTA 6. Dude, like, we could keep going. Like, this game will never end, right? There's just so many leaks. But I've never seen anybody take it to this degree like Nintendo's doing right now.
I don't know if I've ever seen lawsuit being charged for a leak. This is different than using the likeness of a character, or in the case of Smash, using the game as a charitable event. This is different. This is a leak. It's more removed. This is not somebody trying to capitalize on that. Although we don't know who they sold this information to.
Right. What stance does Discord have? Right? Are they just like, hey, okay, whatever, here it is? But there's protection when you sign up as a user as well on Discord's behalf, right? That you are protected. So
we're gonna have to get into real fine legal print of that one, I'm sure, because it comes down to, are you a publisher or are you not? Just an entertainment place, and does that mean Discord owns what is on Discord or not? You see these same kind of arguments coming up on YouTube.
The lawyers right now are just going cha-ching.
Yeah.
Right? Like, here we go. Yeah, it'll be an interesting one to follow. We'll keep you posted, see if anything ever actually comes around to this. But what is coming around, Scott, is QuakeCon will return in person for 2023 with some big changes. Andy Chalk over at PC Gamer. After 3 years of being online only because of the COVID-19 pandemic, Bethesda Software has announced that QuakeCon will return to an in-person action in 2023. Scott, good news, exciting news.
Yeah. Oh, I'm happy to see any of this return, just in general.
Absolutely.
I'm really struggling to remember the gamer tag now, and I wish I could, because a proper shout out is worth. I played a game of Quake 3, it was, I believe. No, it was Quake 4 on Xbox. I played that against the former champion of QuakeCon. Time and time again, he just destroyed the games, and he destroyed me just the same. Man,
oh man. Well, they said here, quote, QuakeCon is our favorite event of the year, and we can't wait to finally see our incredible QuakeCon community in person again. Celebrate games and frag all weekend with thousands of friends, its software boss Marty Stratton said. For our first year back, QuakeCon 2023 is focusing on the fan favorite BYOC and the players that made QuakeCon the best gaming gathering for more than 25 years, Scott. So bring your own computer and you'll be having a big old LAN party. And dude, I've done these parties and they are fantastic. Like it is so cool. I remember my brother and I had a bunch of friends over and we played Ghost Recon Future Soldier and we played Assassin's Creed multiplayer all night long. And it was
awesome.
Blast. Dude, taking out people and they're just like in eye shot and you're like and then you get burned too. So yeah, there's both ways, right? It goes both ways, but it's a ton of fun.
Modern Warfare 2 was the one we had LAN parties for in high school. Oh, it was so much fun.
Right? Yeah, it's just, if you haven't had that experience before, I'm telling you, go do that because it is a blast. Nothing better than hanging out with your friends all in one room while you're able to take each other out. So much fun.
Well, especially when you remember the days before Xbox Live and that too.
Oh,
it makes it a little more appreciable.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's nice to see things starting to kind of open up again, Scott. Right? We've been shut down for so long. We started to get back into some of these events, and then, man, it's just a different feeling when you attend these things in person.
Mm-hmm.
Scott, we do have a couple releases out today, but I want to get to one more quick little topic. Let me see if I can get into this one, just because it is such a quick one. Capcom has removed controversial DRM tech from Resident Evil Village on Steam. So if you've been having a problem over there you go. That should hopefully solve it. That's Chris Scully, and you can go check out his full article. He's got all the details on that. But it's nice to see that they're starting to kind of open up a little bit, right? So
yeah,
DRM's a sticky little situation.
I think this was essentially it was a heavy program. So it was very taxing on the computer.
Crazy to think about, actually. But yeah, I don't know. We had some of these issues come around and around and around, but it's starting to kind of deviate away from this issue and just let people play the game.
Yeah.
Right.
I remember back in the day when you could create your own copies of any game you want, as long as you owned it. You had to buy it first.
Yeah, okay. There's
backup discs. Remember
so many pirated things. Yeah. I get why they want to protect themselves too, right? Like at the end of the day, but yeah. Well, it is what it is. Scott,
I feel like it should expire after a certain amount of time. Yeah. Just let it go.
Fair enough. It's an interesting way to take it.
I think you can get Doom free still to this day.
Oh, there you go. Nice, Doom. Dude, what games do we have out today, though?
We have Sherlock Holmes The Awakened remake. That's on PlayStation 4, 5, Xbox One, XS, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Tron Identity is out on Nintendo Switch and PC. And Process of Elimination is on the PlayStation 4 and the Nintendo Switch.
Dude, have you played any of the Sherlock Holmes games?
No, I haven't. I played one of the Tron ones, though.
Which one?
I want to say, I think it was Legacy, but I can't remember if that's just the title of the second movie.
It might be the movie, I think, actually.
Yeah.
I played a couple of those Sherlock Holmes games. Corey and I actually reviewed one for the show. It was episodically, and it just kind of, it was okay. Some of the other ones, though, were really, really good. But, I don't know, Tron Identity, I want to check out.
Escape Academy has me on escape rooms. I love it.
Oh, there you go.
Anything like that, any abstract thinking, I'm into it.
What else are you playing right now?
Oh, I went back to Super Hot, actually. Just playing a little bit of that. Hot. Just kind of letting time melt away.
Super Hot. Dude, it's a classic. Did you ever play it in VR?
No, I really want to, though. That's one of those that I have to. It's like Beat Saber. You kind of have to play that one.
Where's Beat Saber for PS2? Or PSVR 2? Like, I'm ready for that one now at this point. I got Creed we're working on and something else I'll tell you is at the end of the week. We'll talk about that then. Yeah, there's a couple other things we're working on here. So make sure you stick around. But of course, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with us. This has been ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news each and every day. You can join us over on Twitch and YouTube at the official ITG or Inside the Game official. But if you can't join us live, make sure to hit us up later. InsideTheGame.ca podcast services and TV streaming networks around the globe. Also, if you want to chat with us more often, hit us up over on Twitter, the official ITG. Until tomorrow, everybody, I'm Drew, that's Scott. We'll see you inside the game.